Hey there, everyone. Ervin here, and today we're going to be talking about my ship module build path in Helldivers 2. There are a lot of available modules and choices to be made with how you spend your precious samples these days, and it's no exaggeration to say that maxing out all of these modules will take you longer than maxing out your level based unlocks, as well as every Warbond reward in the entire game. So, deciding which modules to unlock first is going to be a very important and difficult decision for every Helldiver in the game. No worries though, as I'll be going over my preferred unlock path that'll give you the most bang for your buck when it comes to spending those samples for the most power in the early game, as well as the best scaling in the late game when you start spamming difficulty 9. So, let's get into it. First off, we are of course going to be upgrading our hangar. The Eagle stratagems are among the most high value and spammed in the entire game, ranging from the high utility priority target clearing of the 500 kg bomb to the incredible horde clear of spamming cluster bombs on your enemies. Upgrading the hangar with liquid ventilated cockpit is going to allow us to spam out Eagle strikes during eradicate missions once per 7.5 seconds, down from 15, which basically allows you to throw down high powered ordnance on repeat until the mission objective is cleared, start to finish, when running an Eagle maxed loadout. Or otherwise, throw down repeated cluster bombs on enemy bug breaches, clearing the encounter in its entirety with just one stratagem alone. Suffice to say that with only a 7.5-second cooldown between these strikes, bugs will be struggling to even crawl out of their holes before joining their allies as a part of a visceral kill streak. Next, by taking the Pit Crew Hazard Pay upgrade, we'll be doubling down with our ability to spam out Eagles, bringing that overall cooldown when rearming down from its already very fast 2 minute and 30-second baseline to just 2 minutes. Something you're very quickly going to notice about taking these first three upgrades is they all synergize and boost each other, making your Eagles even more spammable, more reliable, and also giving you more value out of those stratagem slots. With only 2 minutes per rearm, an Eagle Heavy loadout is going to be able to drop bomb after bomb after bomb on a would be bug reach, only to do so again just 2 minutes later. Next, by taking the expanded weapons bay upgrade, we are going to be leaving the Eagle upgrade train after this, but this is going to round things off, giving us one extra charge of every Eagle stratagem in the game, most notably bringing our 500 kg bomb count from 1 to 2, doubling the value of this stratagem that is able to functionally kill anything besides typically factory striders in just one call-in, including every objective structure besides the gunship fabricator. A fifth cluster bomb is also obviously absurd in terminated missions, and so on and so on. This upgrade provides the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to spending your first super samples by far, and it's not close. However, in between Pit Crew Hazard Pay and Expanded Weapons Bay, you might not feel up to playing for super samples yet, in which case, either before or after, you'll want to pick up Donation Access License in the Patriotic Administration Center next, so that your support weapons start dropping with full ammunition. This is mostly a quality of life buff, as there isn't really anything stopping you from dropping the resupply immediately and taking a crate to top off the support weapon before you get into the action. But as you'll notice with higher difficulties, it's going to get increasingly difficult and more hectic to drop into a match and coordinate all grabbing a resupply after your weapons before heading out. This is a relatively cheap upgrade as well that negates having to worry about any of that, so pick it up pretty early on. Next, it's going to start becoming a question of playstyle. If you enjoy utilizing support weapons like the spear and the recoilless rifle, you're going to want to start working your way down that Patriotic Administration upgrade line to the superior packing methodology, as this is going to drastically improve your ammo economy, giving you full ammo from even just a singular resupply crate for these ammo starved but very powerful backpack fueled support weapons. The autocannon also benefits plenty as well, able to recover its entire reserve 50 rounds with just the one box. Keep in mind, however, before making this decision, I would ask around if this upgrade is actually functional or not, as Arrowhead has made a theme of breaking this upgrade every other patch or so. So be sure to make sure that you're on a patch that it's actually functioning currently. Right now it is, but that could change at any moment, and I don't want to mislead you into spending on something that you probably shouldn't at the moment. Along this path, though, you'll also be taking the hand carts upgrade and streamlined request upgrade just to get there, which will provide you with a 10% faster cooldown on your support weapon, a honestly widely irrelevant upgrade unless you happen to lose your support weapon during the mission, or you want to drop it in for a teammate later on. Same goes for that 10% cooldown reduction for backpacks, although dropping a jetpack or a shield pack for a teammate later in the mission is likely going to be much more valuable as teammates are far less likely to bring their own backpacks than they are their own support weapons in my experience. Now, if you didn't find the support weapon upgrade line of Patriotic Administration Center appealing, you're going to be instead heading down the Orbital Cannons upgrade line, as Orbitals in Helldivers 2 start out pretty bad overall, besides the Orbital Precision Strike, but scale exceedingly well with their upgrades. Exploding Shrapnel is going to lessen the fall off of your orbital explosion's area of effect by a very significant 30%. This makes our orbital barrages a lot more reliable, and I encourage you to count how many times that word comes up. The More Guns upgrade is going to give us an additional salvo per barrage, which is going to be most notable for the walking barrage, which functionally actually gains some effective range from this upgrade, as well as the 380mm HE barrage, which gains the most bang for buck from an additional salvo, increasing how reliably this stratagem will actually destroy the thing and or enemies that we throw it at. Next up, we get zero G breach loading, which reduces the orbital stratagem's cooldown time, which is important because the orbitals have some of the longest cooldowns in the entire game, very rarely getting to be used more than 3 times each in the case of the 380, which is a baseline cooldown of a whole 4 minutes, brought down with this upgrade to closer to about 3.5. Now, these upgrades are going to feel pretty good, but all of these have been small potatoes compared to our next upgrade, which is the atmospheric monitoring upgrade. This reduces the spread of the 380 and 120mm HE barrages by what is listed as 15%. But in actuality, because of the radius, this improvement in reliability is much greater than it would otherwise sound. In actuality, your barrages are actually going to receive a 27.75% reduction in overall radial area. Taking this upgrade will likely be the first time you throw this at a target rich environment and are not disappointed by the results. The 380mm barrage is probably the most dramatic and fun stratagem in Helldivers 2, especially when your entire team has them fully upgraded and throws them at the same target together. These upgrades will, however, not just make this fun, but it'll also make it a very effective way of playing the game as well. Afterwards, you can continue on and get the new Tier 5 upgrade for a 10% larger explosive radius, which again is much more impressive than it sounds. However, this is an extremely expensive upgrade, so there's no harm in going down one of the lines we haven't talked about so far, or if you skipped out on the support weapon line, you can now go down that one. This is also around the time that you might want to start looking at the turret upgrades, or if you're a flamethrower enthusiast, towards the 25% increase in stratagem based fire damage located at the bottom of the bridge line. At this point, it really does become too varied by playstyle to give you an optimal route based on just my experience alone, but hopefully this build will get you moving through the early game, utilizing your samples in an effective manner that does give you the most value for your efforts in the form of deployed combat effectiveness. Thank you for watching till the end, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.
And now, another helpful tip from General Brash.
Erevin has done our new recruits a great service by informing them as to how they can get the most out of their efforts collecting samples from the enemy. For this, I am ordering all active Helldivers to like, comment, and subscribe to his channel. Failure to do so will result in you being stuck in an infinite loading screen forever.